Hello.
Hello.
What's up?
Hey.
Hey everybody. Today is day 3 of our missions trip, Portland, Oregon missions trip, and it is Tuesday, July 19th to 18th. I think it's the 18th today.
Yep.
2017. It's 11 p.m. and we're just talking about today. My team, or our team here, Jonathan, Eric, and I, and with other people, total of 11 people, went to St. Andre's Bassett, and a Catholic church actually, and they're also known as Red Doors because apparently the church has the red doors in the front, and the homeless people know that church because of the red doors. So we go there, and pretty much we're serving food. For my part, I helped serve food to the homeless that time, and we're pretty much serving breakfast in that church. And one lady that really stood out to me was this lady. Her name is Keisha, and she came up to us. She's like, "Oh, I'm so glad that I'm here. I finally made it." She said, "Oh, I finally made it, and thank God." Or she didn't say thank God. She just said, "I finally made it, and I'm so happy to be here. I'm so hungry and stuff." So she came far away. We said, "Did you come far away?" She's like, "Yeah, I came so far away. I'm so glad to be here. I'm so hungry." And I'm like, "Oh my goodness!" It's like these people who came so far just to eat a meal. So it was just really good to see the homeless people come over to get a meal. It's pretty much breakfast. We served the food to the homeless people, and she was so grateful. She says, "Thank you for this food." So that was good to see. And also the volunteers were so helpful. There was so many different stations. Like there's a hygiene station where people could pick up some hygiene toiletry stuff, and also people were cooking in the back in the kitchen. Some people were help busing the food and also praying or talking to the people. So it was just a really good time to help each other out, and the volunteers were amazing. The people locally, they volunteer there a good amount of time, and they help so much. Like they were helping out the hygiene station, but yet they helped the homeless people bring the food to their table. So I thought that was really good to see. Like they were just, everyone was helping out, pitching in from another station to another station. So it was good to see people helping out each other, and I felt that the love of God was there. That most people were worshiping and just praising God by, and pleasing God by helping each other out and loving each other today at St. Andres Bassett Church. So thank God for that, and I'm going to pass the mic to Jonathan.
Hello. Hope you all are doing well back home. Hope you like our microphone implement for today. Yet another item we found here in the secret pantry. So yeah, after St. Andre Bassett, we, for the afternoon, went to the Portland Rescue Mission. A little bit about them. They're a facility that does quite a lot, actually, for the homeless community there in Portland. They're most known for serving food. They serve 7 days a week, 2 meals Monday through Friday, and 3 meals on the weekends. They also provide mailboxes for some homeless people where they can have a physical mailing address, and that really helps them out in putting together a resume and finding a job and helping them get back on their feet. But one of the coolest things they do is what they do to help provide shelter. Every day they set up 60 pads in their big room, and homeless people sleep there, and it's based on a lottery system, because oftentimes there might be more than 60 people that hope to get a pad to sleep on that night there. So they get a lottery system every day, and it can go up to 90 pads a night during the winter months. Also, they have slightly longer term housing options. The next level up would be called what they call Next Step. It's a weekly housing, but they would have to fill out application and provide some sort of ID, like or birth certificate, social security card. or any sort of ID, because that's necessary to help them through their application and also get back on their feet and finding a job. And then the last one is what they call Connect, is the highest barrier to entry, 3 to 6 month program where they live there and they have to work and gain skills to get back on their feet. And they usually work some job at the facility. There's a lot to do, janitorial, kitchen, and everything. And there was 11 of us in our team, and so we split up into 2 teams. One team stayed behind, which Eric will talk about next, and I was on a team that made sandwiches, and we went out into the community and to the waterfront to hand out the sandwiches, as well as hand out a bunch of sushi that was just recently donated to the rescue mission. And so it was an amazing experience, meeting a lot of people along the way, hearing their stories, and praying for them. Just to keep this video somewhat in a reasonable length, I won't have time to share about all those experiences, but I'd love to talk to you in person or at a later time about those personal experiences that we experienced. But it was a real blessing.
Hi everyone. Thanks for watching. Like Jonathan mentioned, our team, we split up for a little bit at the Portland Rescue Mission. We, let's see, there are a handful of us. It's like 4 of us that stayed back, and we actually ended up sorting socks for a little bit. Basically, there were a whole bunch of donated socks, and there was like a pile of like a crate of like 4 feet by 4 feet by 4 feet of just socks. So we basically spent a whole bunch of time just pairing them up, just for future donations or future giveaways to people in need. And then while we're doing that, we are actually helping one of the guys that was in the program, like Jonathan mentioned. He was there for a 1-year program to try to get off the street. His name is Royal, and Royal basically was addicted to heroin for a while, and then he decided to try to get clean. So he applied for the program, and he actually was 10 months clean, as of like around like sometime like today. And it's just amazing, I think, just to hear his story and just to be able to see the fruit of a program like the Portland Rescue Mission. Actually we were able to take a picture with him at the end, and I don't know, it's just really encouraging. Like, he was actually the one in charge of the here, Jonathan will show you a quick picture of our group.
Our group, Royal is the last one on the side right there, kind of with his hands on his knees. I know it's kind of blurry, but he's a really nice, charming old man. He's pretty old, but he had a lot of life and was just really adamant about making a difference and working hard there at the rescue mission to get back on his feet.
Yeah, the coolest thing I think was just just to see hope in the way he just in his just everything, the way he talked. He was joking around with us, and I think just to just see joy, I think, in him, being there and like kind of growing. So it's just really encouraging just to see some of the ministries that have been so, the volunteers and the workers at these ministries are so dedicated, and it's amazing to see them, year after year. It's just a blessing. So definitely, if you can keep Royal in prayers, that he would finish his program the next 2 months, that'd be awesome. And I'll turn over to Derek.
So for me, I was on a separate team, and I think so the ministries that we did today were pretty much the same ministries that we worked with yesterday. And our morning ministry was my father's house, a homeless family shelter, where we work with the kids. And then our afternoon ministry was Birch Community. The only thing I think that was different was actually, I don't know if that's correct. I'm a little confused. I think. Well, anyway, so one thing that was different was when we did our lunch. So we packed 2 lunches and handed one lunch out to a homeless person, and then we had lunch with them. That was the goal anyway. So we did a lot of things, but I'm just going to share my highs and my lows. So I guess my low for today was that I think today was probably the first time I've ever made a little girl cry. So I was having it was snack time with with our kids at my father's house, and I was just sitting at a table with a little girl that was eating her fruit snacks, and her paper towel was on the table and it was a little wet, and she was like picking it up and kind of like pulling it apart. But it was, kind of wet down the middle, so I took it and I slowly just kind of ripped it apart and was like, hey, now it's 2 pieces. And then she just started crying. And then, I was like, oh no. And then someone picked her up, and then they were like, oh, what happened? And then like she was crying, and then she was pointing at me, and I felt kind of bad. Anyway, so that was kind of my low. My high that I can share would be when we did our bag lunches. We split up into groups of about 4, and we met this guy. His name is John, and he had a dog. He has just a cool background story, but one thing that really stood out was just as we were talking, we were able to talk about like his spirituality. He says he believes in Christianity. He believes in Jesus and what he's done, but also you could tell he doesn't grasp the whole story, but he believes that there's far greater things. So because of that, he's also like looking into Hinduism and other things like that. But what was cool is that I was able to relate with him in also agreeing that there's so much more out there than we can possibly understand, and that he is right. It's so much greater than what we're being told about Jesus, and obviously those are the important things, but God is so much greater than what we can understand. And something that a pastor used to say a lot was that if God was someone that we could fully comprehend, he would not be a God worth worshiping, because there's just no way that we could fully understand the things that he does and the way that he works, although we do our best and we try and we strive for knowing God. So that was really cool, even though maybe he doesn't have the whole picture. We were still able to relate to him in that sense. So I guess that's it. Thanks for your prayers. I don't know. What else? You guys have anything else to say?
Is there any prayer requests?
Let's see. Tomorrow for our team, it's going to be something new for pretty much almost everyone on our team. We're going to head out to Union Gospel Mission Homeless Services in the morning, and afternoon we're had a slight change in schedule. We're going to serve at Birch Community Services, right? And so no one on our team has done UGM Homeless Services, and about 80% of the people on our team haven't done Birch. So it'll be a new, exciting experience. Just let's pray for energy and us continuing to have the passion to continue to do the Lord's work.
And just real briefly, again, I think I mentioned last time, if you just pray for courage for us and our team, that we'd be able to just, be led by the Holy Spirit to reach out to those on the streets. I know some of the youth or some of the, our teammates, haven't gone out before to talk to the homeless. And I know definitely it's encouraging just to see the desire that everyone has to connect with them and to really hear the story. Like, and I know that I mentioned the first day, a lot of the mission behind of our mission trip is not only to do these little things physically, but just to be there and to listen to people and to treat them like a person, because oftentimes they're neglected. So I think just keep that in mind. But yeah, definitely pray for courage. Anything else? All right. Well, that is day 3 of the Secret Pantry 2.0. We
Talk to you
will
tomorrow.
see you tomorrow, guys. Bye.